I do want to give my personal analysis on Marc Casado as a right back, because recently we just seen in Barcelona's most recent game that they have played, which was against Real Sociedad, Casado did play as a right back for a total of 10 to 15 minutes. And I never really gave my opinion on this, and so I do want to take my time to speak about the role of Casado and why him playing as a right back is very important for FC Barcelona. Later in the video, we're also going to be talking about the injury news, because we do have many players that are out of football, and we are going to be updating exactly when we could expect to see these players return. So this is going to be a massive video. If you guys are new here, welcome to the channel. I'm happy that you guys are here. If you guys are Barcelona fans, this will be the channel for you. This is where we do talk about everything regarding FC Barcelona. So if that thing is for you, please like this video and also subscribe to the channel. I would really appreciate it. And so let's get straight to it. Let's talk about Marc Casado. It says here, according to Inquires, that the coaching staff and Hansi Flick believes that Casado can play as a right back if they ever decide to give Jules Kounde some rest. So if you guys are unfamiliar with Marc Casado and his past, you already know that this is nothing new. We have seen Casado play as a right back before with Barca Athletic, and especially under Rafa Marquez. He was rotating roles, playing as a midfielder sometimes, playing as a central defensive midfielder, and also playing as a right back. Through this whole season overall, under Hansi Flick, he has shown versatility in his role, not only playing as a central defensive midfielder, but also as a right back. And in that match against Real Sociedad, defensively, he was very reliable. I think that he does have the anticipation, the defensive dual rate, the correct timing to really be a solid right back and a backup to Jules Kounde, because let's be honest, Casado will never ever reach the level of Jules Kounde as a right back. I'm not saying that Casado is a trash player on the right side. I'm simply just saying that Jules Kounde's bar is so high. I just cannot see Casado become a world-class top level right back that exceeds Jules Kounde, because Jules Kounde just provided 3 assists. I don't really see Casado doing that, but that does not mean that we should not use Casado on the right back position, because when he was on those defensive duties, he was responsible, he was mature in all of his decisions. I would say though that the only thing that he would be missing would be his final third efficiency, meaning that his crosses are not really that good, nor is his take-on ability down the flank using his speed. That is where Jules Kounde does blossom at, surprisingly, right? Because Jules Kounde, remember, he is originally a center back, but he has worked to that level, and maybe, right, maybe Casado can do the exact same thing. Maybe he might work during the training sessions to become a better, efficient right back in the final third. But when it comes to playing out from the back, I trust him. When it comes to creating 1-2 scenarios in the middle of the pitch, I trust him. When it comes to him trying to take the ball away from any left winger from the opposition, I trust him. In the end, in my personal conclusion, Casado is immovable under Hansi Flick, because I do think that he is one of the most used players. Like, if he's not going to be playing as a central midfielder or a central defensive midfielder, Hansi Flick is going to place him as a right back. You never really see Casado come out for another player. He is immovable. And I just really do think that this is Hansi Flick's Joshua Kimmich, because Joshua Kimmich has always been doing the exact same thing. He is a reliable central defensive midfielder that can also play as a right back. Joshua Kimmich, though, does have more refined skills in the final third. And once again, that is because Joshua Kimmich has had more time in football compared to Casado. Casado is very new. He has only played in top European football for 3 months, and that's it. So, like, anything can change. Casado, by the end of this season, can have more refined skills in the final third, and hopefully we can see that happen. So it's great to know that if it's not going to be Jules Kounde, let's say if he ever gets injured or maybe he's fatigued, maybe there needs to be rotation, we have Hector Fort. If it's not going to be Hector Fort, Casado could be another option. And the scary part from all of this is that, you know, Hector Fort could have played on the right back position in the last 10 to 15 minutes, but no, Hansi Flick chose Casado to play in that position. Does Hansi trust Casado over Hector Fort now? We'll see as time does go by. Also, Casado just made his debut versus Denmark, which was amazing. He had a small cameo. He only played a few minutes, but in those few minutes, we did learn a lot. He continues to show that he excels in tight spaces, great vision. His range of passing is phenomenal. His technicality on the ball is still there. Every duel that he does encounter, it is very physical. I would also say that because Hansi Flick has told Casado to be vertical with the ball, right? Because that is how we do play, very vertical attacking football. He does bring that to Spain for some reason, so he kind of does look out of place, because most Spanish players that we saw on that night, they did play horizontal. We saw sideways passes. They were much more calm, but every time Casado was about to receive the ball or he had the ball, he played extremely vertical. And maybe that is just his game. Maybe that is just the way that he does like to play, because for every 10 passes that he makes, 2 of those are horizontal. The other 8 are very vertical. So congratulations to Casado. But going back to FC Barcelona, yes, it is true, right? Like, he is Hansi Flick's Joshua Kimmich, and he is Barcelona's brand new Sergi Roberto. It's very interesting. So this whole thing about a midfielder that can also play as a right back is nothing new, and especially at FC Barcelona. But the thing is that Marc Marc Casado can actually be trusted at the age of 21 years old and potentially become maybe a future captain within the next 6 to 7 years. And I would like to think that Casado is more aggressive than Sergio Roberto, and like I have said, more vertical with his passes and the way that he does run with the ball. Like, I have never seen Sergio Roberto make a through pass like how Casado did against Real Madrid to Lewandowski that led towards Barcelona's first goal. And it's going to be amazing to see, like, looking at his qualities, how Gavi and Frenkie de Jong are going to be able to compete for his position, because you're not going to be moving Pedri away from the double pivot position. He is untouchable, and the same thing does go for Casado. So I'm happy to see that we can say that Casado is our new version of Sergio Roberto, and hopefully he exceeds those levels, and he is Joshua Kimmich basically. And I'm liking this new era of midfielders that I'm starting to see. Like, we're gonna go away from Barcelona for just a second, but like, for example, the Tchouaméni is a midfielder who happens to play as a center back now, and he plays in that position very well. This is going to be like the brand new era. Like, this is what we're going to be seeing for the next few years, is midfielders who can play in different positions. It's pretty exciting and very interesting. I mean, like, we have also seen hints of that with Gavi a year and a half ago when he was playing as a left winger under Xavi Hernandez, and he played as a left winger in a very comfortable way. He even scored a goal against Real Madrid in the Spanish Super Cup. I don't know if you guys remember that. So these new era of midfielders, they're going to be seeing different positions because they have the capability to do that. I think the same thing could be said with Camavinga also playing on the left back position. We saw him play within those realms and areas last season with Real Madrid. But going back to Casado making that transition from performing as a CDM and then going into the right back position occasionally, it is the most difficult transition, because when you want to transition yourself to the right back position, you have to refine your skills in the attack and you have to work on that. Jules Kounde has been working on that over the past year and a half, so it does take some time, which is why I'm not going to be too hard on him. But that transition, it is currently happening. So now, stepping away from this conversation, I do want to speak about the latest regarding our injuries, because we do have some great news in regards to Ronald Araujo. And it says here that Hansi Flick expects Araujo to return by around mid-December. So anytime within the next month, we should expect to see Araujo return. It has also been stated that Araujo wants to stay and renew his contract. The feeling among all parties over a renewal is very positive, and the club intends to get him on a new deal before the end of the season. A meeting soon between agents and Deco is going to happen. So very exciting news. We are going to be getting much more Araujo focus in later videos, but that is going to be the latest on the player. He's going to be returning soon, just in time for our very important matches like the Spanish Super Cup, the Copa del Rey, the Champions League matches, to really conclude a top 9 position in the Champions League. And so it is going to be amazing. But keep in mind, it's not going to be easy for Araujo to just go into the center back positions, because Inigo Martinez and Cubarsí have been at a very good level, and Hansi Flick has shown time and time again that if any player gets injured and they want to return and they just automatically assume that they're going to be going into the starting 11, you're wrong. Hansi Flick makes it very difficult, because if that was the case, Gavi should have been in the starting 11 2 weeks ago. But till this day, Gavi is not in the starting 11. The same thing with Ansu Fati. Hansi Flick does not make it easy whatsoever. He does not care about your name. What he does want is the collective performance. And so Araujo, once he does return, he's going to have to work towards becoming better than Inigo Martinez, performing better than Cubarsí. Then Hansi Flick will have the conversation with him to maybe get to a starting spot. As for the other players, Ferran Torres is expected to come back by the end of this month. Lamine Yamal is going to be available for the match against Celta or either Brest, which is good news because everybody thought that Lamine Yamal was going to be out for 2 or 3 weeks. I don't think so. All of that was just a tactical move coming from Hansi Flick. He did not want Lamine Yamal to go to the international break and for them to overwork him. So Lamine Yamal is going to be returning with no problem. Christensen will be returning in January 2025, and then we do have Ansu Fati, who just got injured, who is going to be out for 1 month. I'm going to be talking about Ansu Fati very soon, have a dedicated video on him, and speak about his injury history, why Barcelona have not been able to take care of Ansu Fati, why we have always wanted Ansu Fati to return and get back to his best, and what I believe should be Ansu Fati's new role, because I just don't think that his role should be the left wing position. It's just not for him anymore because of his physical state right now. I do think that a new role for him should be the center forward position, but that is going to be for a whole other different conversation, different video, so make sure you do stay tuned. But that is it, right? That is going to be wrapping up today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.